Welcome back to Safe Travel RV. I'm Big Al. In today's video, we're going to talk about replacing those outdated tires on your motorhome. We're also going to talk about easier access to tire pressure checks on those rear dualies back there. And we're also going to talk about tire pressure monitoring systems. So if you're ready to have a safer, more comfortable ride in your motorhome, let's get started. So the tires on my motorhome right now are about 7 years old. They're the Hankook Dynapro HT, which have about 27,000 miles on them. You look at the tread looks good. There's no sidewall damage, there's no cracks, there's even wear across the tread line. So why am I doing this now? Well, it's generally considered 7 years is the average time to replace motorhome tires. Some people go as much as 10, some do it at 5, but it's an individual thing. I would look at the manufacturer recommendations, but for me, 7 years, it's time to replace. We're going to be traveling more, we're going to be further away from home, and I just wanted to upgrade to the Michelin Agilis Cross Climate tires in hopes for a smoother ride, better protection from road hazards, especially from sidewall damage, because this is a really nice tire. And it's a commercial grade tire, but it's made for LT light trucks, okay? So that's what we're putting on this thing. And while we're doing it, we're going to go back here on those dualies and install new valve stems, which are longer. They're not the extensions, we'll talk about that. They're the valve stems. We're going to do that. Then I'm briefly going to talk to you about my tire pressure monitoring system, how important that is, which leads to underinflation and overinflation issues. We're going to talk about that little plate on the inside of your door jamb that tells you your tire pressures. So let's get going on all of that. So as you know, in my other videos on Class C suspension upgrades, we had big improvements in the ride. So I'm hoping these tires are going to be the icing on the cake, because we're going to be able to lower that tire pressure and not adhere to the max tire pressure that's inside that door jamb. And we're going to talk about that too, because when I purchased this RV new, I just went with the manufacturer tire pressure inflation numbers posted on the driver's side door jamb. And as you can see right here, it says maximum tire pressure for the rear and then for the front at this maximum weight, okay? So that's a fully loaded vehicle, which is a gross vehicle weight rating. As you can see here on this driver's side door jamb, it's showing the front axle weight, which is a gross axle weight rating. It shows it to be at 5,000 pounds. On the rear, it's showing it to be at 9,600 pounds, okay? So when we took this in to have it weighed, we found out that the front axle weighed 4,200 pounds and the rear axle weighed 9,160 pounds. And that's fully loaded. That's a full tank of gas. That's a half tank of fresh water. That's a quarter tank each of gray and black. All of our biking gear, batteries, food, and 400 pounds, not just me, but 400 pounds of passengers, okay? So we are about 1,300 pounds below that gross vehicle weight rating. And that's important. We're going to use these numbers tomorrow when Speedy Tire comes here, and Jimmy is going to talk to you about finding that sweet spot in your tire pressure based on Michelin's recommended tire pressure for weight per axle end, okay? So that's tomorrow, but right now we're going to talk about adding valve stems back here on the back, so to make it easier to adjust tire pressures on the inner tire and maintain your tire pressure monitoring system. But just let me add real quick, before you set up your tire install, confirm with the install person that those tires are fresh. I've seen them try to install tires that are 10 months old, even a year old. I know mine coming in tomorrow or were manufactured the 1st of January. So that's important, because remember, the reason we're replacing these tires is because they've been outdated. So let's go back here and look at these dualies. The problem with dualies on the Class C motorhome is it's always hard to gain access to this inner wheel to check your tire pressure. A lot of people add valve extenders on there, but they tend to move around and leak and get damaged. This is a little U-shaped extender that's on the outer valve stem, and you can see it still moves around. So they're prone to leakage. So we're going to replace that one with this one that installs actually into the wheel itself. We'll do that, of course, when the tires are off. And then on the inner side, inner wheel, we will install this one, and it'll go through and mount on this outer wheel rim here to give us a nice, secure, stable valve stem. Okay, so that'll take care of that problem. And then we're going to be using this tire minder, tire pressure monitoring system. This is the receiver, and these are the transmitters, and it all works through a Bluetooth app on your phone, which you can keep right up there with you. You can go to each tire pressure and monitor it. It also shows you the temperature, and it has high and low limits, so it's very, very nice feature to have. And I think with this, our new valve stems, and our brand new tires, I think we're going to be ready for the road. Okay guys, today's a big day. We're getting new tires put on this Class C. I have with me here today Jimmy Spears from Speedy Tires, or Mobile Tire Service. They work a lot on RVs. He's going to answer a lot of your questions about when to replace your RV tires, what type to replace them with, tire maintenance, and tire pressure. So welcome, Jimmy. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. So glad to be here today. So first we're going to talk about when to change these tires. We got 5 years. That's what most of your insurance companies tell you. 5 years, we're going to change these tires. We don't want any blowouts, because if you don't change your tires in 5 years, then what's going to happen is that's going to be lack of maintenance. And then when you have a catastrophic failure and it tears up the side of your coach, then the insurance company's not going to pay it, and they're going to reject the claim. So what we want to do is every 5 years we want to change these tires. Now you might wear them out before 5 years, so that's a different thing right there. But if you're taking care of your tires and you're taking care of your coach, even your travel trailer, 5 years on that date. And you're going to see that date on the side of the tire. He's going to show you there. You're going to have 4 numbers on the side of your tires. All right, next we're going to talk about the best type of tires. There's an application for everything we do. We have a travel trailer. Travel trailers will be running a 225 75 15. We can put a 10 ply on there. And 10 plies are good. That's what you probably got when you got your travel trailer. Well, we like to upgrade just a little bit and go to a 12 ply all steel or a 14 ply all steel. What that does is beefs up the sidewalls a little bit, keeps the swaying from happening. If you're going to use your coach every weekend, you're traveling, going to football games, going to NASCAR races, you want to go with your upper end tire, because they're designed to take them heat cycles and get your most mileage out of it, and you want to be out there. But if we're only going to use our coach 4 times a year, but we know we're going to have to replace these tires every 5 years, we'll go to the cheaper tire. We can even go with a Chinese tire. Sometimes that's okay. But if we're doing big heat cycles, we're going out west, no, we're going to put a Michelin on there, because we want to protect you and your family. But always check your air pressure before you go and when you're done. Tire maintenance overall, protect them from the sun. Protect them from the sun.
Alrighty, our new Michelin Agilis Cross Climate tires are on. Danny seems to approve. I guess we'll show you how these dually valve stems work before I put my wheel covers back on. It's going to be very, very nice. Of course, now this is the inner wheel, so that's going to be real easy to get to that one. And then this one has a nice long extension on it there, so easy to check pressures and easy to change the batteries in those transmitters. Alrighty, so our next step is to do a weekend trip to try these things out to see how they do. We actually went down 5 PSI on all tires. So the fronts are now 70 and the backs are now 75. So we'll see how that works, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. We have just returned from a 725-mile trip to the East Coast. These tires performed fantastic. I know I'm really going to love them. A little bit softer ride, very easy to control, nice tracking, so we're very happy with it. We're also going to take Jimmy's advice and keep them covered up a lot more to protect them from that UV sunlight. Okay, so when you're deciding about what load range you want to get, these are the Load Rain E, which is a 115/112R. These tires can actually carry more weight than my axles are rated for, and that's a good place to be. So keep that in mind when you're shopping for tires. Okay folks, this is going to wrap it up. Until next time, safe travel.